Hi, I'm Amy, and today I'm going to show you how you can participate in the upcoming Global Animal Behavior Twitter Conference taking place January 26th and 27th, 2021. So you don't even need to have a Twitter account to be able to learn about all the cool research going on that's being shared at this conference. And I'm going to show you how you can do that, whether you have a Twitter account or not. So I'm going to share my screen and go over to the Twitter homepage, which is twitter.com/explore. So once you're here, you'll see this is what the home screen looks like. If you are logged in to an account, it'll look pretty similar. Clearly, I'm not logged in because it is showing me how I can sign up. And if you want to sign up, this is where you can do it. So how do you find a Twitter conference, right? There's no physical location. Well, it's connected. All of the different people associated with the conference, all the tweets associated with the conference are connected through a hashtag. The hashtag is #AnimBehave2021. So if you go up to that search bar and you type in that hashtag and hit enter, you will see a feed of tweets that are all related to the conference because everybody involved in the conference is using this hashtag. So I just want to orient you here. What you see, first, we're in the top tweets tab. And this is just going to show you some of the tweets with this hashtag that are getting a lot of engagement online. So some of the ones that have a lot of likes and comments and retweets and things like that. Don't worry about that too much, but these are just tweets that it thinks you might want to see based on other people's data. But you can also go over to the latest tab here, which shows you just in chronological order all of the tweets that have used this hashtag. So you can see here, Twitter user Emily Hudson 2 hours ago shared a tweet about the conference, and it appears here. And then you could scroll down and see other tweets that earlier had been shared about the conference, going all the way back to the very first tweet ever shared anywhere in the world using this hashtag. So that's how that works. So in a Twitter conference, presentations are shared in the form of Twitter threads. This graphic is really helpful for understanding what that means. So in a normal scientific presentation, people share their work in typically a format along the lines of this: introduction, background, methods, results, discussion. So this isn't a talk, this isn't a poster, but instead it's a series of tweets, so short, succinct text, often accompanied by a figure or an image or a movie or something like that, that gives information and is roughly broken down into these sections. So people are sharing their science by really succinctly explaining what they did and what they found in this sort of format. And the thing that links these tweets together, so this example here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, has 5 different tweets, and they're all linked together sequentially in order as a thread. So a thread is a presentation. Somebody's research shared in this format, that's a presentation. 5 to 6 linked tweets. So if you look at this feed, right, you see all of these different tweets. This is not conference time. The conference is January 26th and 27th. And so we aren't actually seeing any of these presentations yet, but we're seeing a lot of information about the conference to sort of lead up to the conference. And so you can scroll down, you can read these different tweets. None of these seem to be threads, which means there's a sequence of tweets all connected. These seem to be individual tweets. But if it was a thread, there would be a button at the bottom that says show this thread. So I'm going to scroll down pretty quickly and find one that is a thread. But even the threads, only the very first tweet in that thread is going to actually show up here in the feed. In order to read the whole presentation, you have to then click into the thread where it will populate the rest of the tweets. So here's an example of a thread. David N. Fisher, Twitter user, shared a sequence of tweets that are all linked together. So this button appears. It says show this thread. And you can see these other ones don't have that button. And that's because there's just a single tweet. And so you can see the whole thing right there. But if I click it, it brings me into his presentation or his thread where you can see the first one, but then you can see connected by these lines, the following tweets. So a science presentation in this conference format will be shared with the intro tweet up here, followed by, the rest of the presentation talking about what they did and what they found. And so once you get to the bottom, you've read their whole presentation, You want to go back and see what else is being shared, scroll back up to the top, and this arrow will bring you back to that initial feed you were looking through, and you can continue to scroll for more presentations that may be of interest, in which case you would follow the same thing. You can also go back up to the top and click refresh, and it's possible that new presentations will appear at the top. Again, we're not in the conference time right now, so that's not the case for us, but during the conference, every 10 minutes, there's going to be new threads presented, and this spans many time zones. So there's going to be a lot. And if you keep refreshing on this latest tab with the conference hashtag, you will see all those presentations as they go live, which is pretty exciting. I will also just point out that on all of these tweets, there's this little bubble here. That's a comment bubble. And that's how the live Q&A happens. So, we don't have an example of that because this isn't a presentation at the moment, but you can actually post a comment and that's your question, and the author can then answer it. So it's this really interactive format that makes for hopefully a really exciting conference with people communicating all across the globe. Now, I'm not logged in, which is why it would not let me comment. So as a non-Twitter user, you can engage in the conference by searching the hashtag and reading through all the presentations. But if you want to actually interact with the scientists or the other viewers who may be commenting on these threads, you actually have to make a Twitter account. And I'm just going to show you what that looks like. I have another browser here where I am logged into my personal Twitter account. I have the same thread showing here. And now that I'm logged in, if I want to ask a question at the end of the talk, or sorry, at the end of the thread or presentation, I click on this bubble and it links down here to where I can type in my question. And I hit send. David N. Fisher would see that and he could then respond to my question. And so during the conference, each presenter will have a 10-minute window where they release their thread, which is their presentation, and then they're live for 10 minutes for viewers to read through the presentation and then ask their questions. And so during that 10-minute assigned window, when you ask a question, the author should be there ready to answer. And anybody else viewing the presentation can see your question and can see the answer and can jump in. And so you can get this whole discussion going on these Twitter threads. And this again can be from people all over the globe. So I think it's going to be a really exciting way to have a lot of exciting animal behavior research shared and discussed. So please join us for the first ever global animal behavior Twitter conference taking place January 26th and January 27th, 2021. And if you have questions about anything related to this, whether you're completely new to Twitter or you're a Twitter pro, please email us at animalbehaviorsociety@gmail.com and we will get back to you.